Welcome back to the Tech Factor podcast by Purple Quarter. We have Uma in the house. Thank you so much for joining us, Uma. It's a pleasure to have you in our office.
Thank you so much, and I'm very excited to have this podcast discussion.
Awesome. So, Uma, for the audience to know you, you did your engineering from PSG, and then you spent a long stint with Motorola and moved on to Intel, Infion then, and then you started your own firm as a founder, ONDC Systems. Moved to Amazon for about 3 years, and now you're with Toast. Now, the journey till Intel and ONDC system aligns with my, the way that I was looking at your journey. What made you shift from, the entire IoT and Bluetooth, the entire part of being that side of technology into e-com, food tech? Could you talk about that a bit?
Okay, excellent question, and thanks for making me go back to my days. So I think I was working in corporate Intel, and I was working on connectivity, and the solution that I was looking at was Bluetooth low energy in wearables, and that time Internet of Things was the thing.
Sure.
And doing something around IoT solution, excited me. I was looking at, how can we have an intelligent lighting system using IoT solution and make sure that we do energy saving. So that concept itself excited me. And while I was excited about it, the other part of me said, I was being in the corporate.
Sure.
And it was, and if you have more than 150 plus people, it's just a lot of administration comes in there. So I was looking at how about taking a risk and resetting my career. So many people said I was foolish, of course.
Okay.
So I said okay, I'm going to take this risk.
Right.
And I took the risk of starting up this company, and I learned the most, because if you're in a big corporation like Motorola and Intel, you basically lean on to the specialist and you don't get into all the details.
Sure.
Here I had to wear multiple hats: product, engineering, business, even hiring, recruitment, legal, NDA, all that. And it was wearing multiple hats, and you have to put your own money. So that brought all the learnings, and I would say that I had the maximum learning from this. And
sure.
I would say in my startup stint, I technically created a great solution, but successfully failed as a business person.
Okay.
I think the one thing I really
like the part successfully failed.
So
okay.
I said, okay, I know there is a growth opportunity for me in this area, and where can I learn the best part of it, where customer is the central focus. And then that time, fortunately, Amazon came in. I said, I'm going to learn how to work backwards from customer, and it was 10 rounds of interviews. I don't know how I aced it, but I passed, and I joined Amazon. And Amazon is an e-commerce company, but I think I got an opportunity to be the single-threaded leader for App Store developer experience.
Sure.
And what I liked in Amazon is that, even though, they don't know whether you can be the single-threaded leader, manage product, user experience, and engineering, I was fortunate to get this opportunity. So I was allowed to swim. Whether I perish or be successful is another aspect. And the first year in Amazon was really tough.
Right.
It was extremely tough. And to be honest, I used to think I want to quit this company every day.
Okay.
And I think after the first year, I think I'm thankful to the leaders who trusted me, especially Aaron Rubinson, who was then the VP of App Store. And they trusted me, and they gave this responsibility. And I'm really proud to say that we transformed the team. We worked backwards from customer and delivered great results along with the teams. I'm extremely proud of what I did at Amazon. After being product and engineering leader for that long, Then my next thing is like, what do I want to do next?
Okay.
Right? And I'm a risk taker. If you look at my career, and it is like tangential thing I do take. I definitely wanted to give back. I wanted to set up a development center, which is best in class, where people grow and thrive. And also I was looking for an opportunity to set up the center where you can define the culture.
Sure.
And first opportunity came, and once I started meeting with many of the executives, I thought this would be a great company. And food experience, the vision of food experience for all was something which aligned with my passion. So I decided to join. So that has been my journey so far.
Wow. While we were speaking, much before getting onto the show, we spoke about the entrepreneur or the intrapreneur in you while you were at Motorola. So would you want to tell the audience a bit on, when you had just started out in Motorola, how you actually took things in your hands? Would you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think this, hopefully it inspires people to work out of their comfort zone.
Sure.
So I was at Motorola. I was given, I think I was a project leader, a project manager. You're supposed to do this project. And I used to subscribe to a lot of external events going on in the tech world. So one of that thing was Bluetooth.
Right.
That was the technology that was coming up, and I subscribed to the Bluetooth, and they said, hey, herald Bluetooth. And the vision is to have personal area networking where you can network.
Right.
That vision of personal area networking excited me because, imagine you don't have wires and it is wireless and I'm driving, I can have a call.
Right.
That really, brought a spirit in me. I went to my boss and I said, hey, I want to work on this. He told me your day job is to do this project lead or the project management of this project. And I will give you interns, you can do whatever you want with this. So I got 8 interns, which was not much the investment.
Sure.
And I used to go once in 2 months every time to all the Motorola groups, right? Be it automotive, mobile division, we had connected. And I was this definitely I was very young person, going every once in 2 months to all these places. I didn't have much of a solution, but I had a bigger dream.
Right.
So I used to read up the standard and prepare a roadmap and present to all these leaders saying, hey, this is what I want to do.
Sure.
And then one of the leader in automotive division, trusted me and said, hey, I will invest in you. And I believe that you can do it because of my spirit and the energy I used to carry. He trusted me and he gave me that opportunity. Thanks, Dan. He gave me this opportunity and we built the first iconic Bluetooth car kit, the world's first iconic Bluetooth IHF 1000.
Wow.
And the Bluetooth solution came from India. So I always had this innovation and the spirit of innovation in me.
Sure.
And I usually come to office, the regular job is okay, but innovation is what excites me and triggers me. So that is how I started my journey. So I'm little unconventional in a large big corporation.
Right. So there was this product thinking piece in you hidden somewhere, looks like. So when did you actually take on the function of being both product and engineering, taking care of both the orgs?
Okay, so I always had this, even in Motorola, they used to say, hey, she has something where I keep following the market, I keep following the standard, what's going on. Always had this product thinking in this.
Right.
And first time I figured out, that I had was when I had my startup.
Sure.
That I had to do from architecture to design to product and user experience. I figured out that there was there.
Right.
But I think I found that was my core strength during my Amazon days.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I think there is PRFAQ, working backwards from customer, and that really solidified saying actually my passion and strength is in product, connecting dots and long-term visioning and product thinking. That's when I said, hey, I was a tech person and I'm an engineer, I love engineering, but I think my passion and strength is in thinking backwards from customer and getting products.
Excellent, excellent. So typically if I were to ask you, of course, you did say successfully failed in your startup, Ojaswati Systems. We spoke about why the name Ojaswati, which is to do with energy, right? And Uma, you're a person full of energy, right? So can we talk about the statement that you put up on LinkedIn, which says, learn as if you were to live forever. Now, what is the thought process behind that statement?
Okay.
That you put
I think this is Mahatma Gandhi's thing.
Sure.
Learn as if you have to live forever. And this one was, I think, the startup journey itself brought, so much learning that I don't think I would have gone to any university or anywhere, even in a protected place, I would have gotten. And I think from the day I started, and in 1 year, I must have pivoted 50 times.
Wow.
Right? And every time I thought of a concept, and I worked on the concept, and I go to a customer, and the customer gives me feedback, then I pivot.
Right.
And then I pivot. After 1 year, I wrote the strategy of how this product should look, and I thought that's when I learned. So I think my maximum learning happened during my startup phase, not just in technology or the engineering, in the product, in the business,
Sure.
in legal,
Right.
in recruitment, everything. So I had, it was like learning every day, learning new things, failing fast. I think best part of my career is even though it was a very difficult journey, it was also a learning where you think like when you work in big corporate, you think like the company's brand is your brand.
Correct.
When that brand is removed, you really know what is your brand value. I think it just gets you into a lot of shocking truth about yourself, where you stand, the local stand of it. And it was learning every day. And you really know what is your strength, what are your growth areas, where you need to focus. And still, with all the failures, you have to bring the best version of yourself every day to the clients you meet, to the people who work for you.
Right.
So,
right.
So I had the best learning experience. So that's why I said learn. I learned every day there.
Sure. And I want to take a cue from what you said earlier. You spoke about how you wanted to quit Amazon every single day, right? And how did you manage to stay for 3 years?
Okay. I don't quit. Okay. I mean, I don't give up easily. I am a strong-willed person, if you want to call it.
Sure.
It's not. We just need to go through these most uncomfortable thing.
Right.
In order, like it's like the whole life is like going to a gym, right? And building your muscles. When you go to the gym and when you go and build the muscle, you really want to quit, right? During the early days, after
painful.
6 months, 1 month,
Yeah.
it's extremely painful.
Yeah.
Then, they mold you and you get it, right? Here, you have your own views in life. You come with a set of values and you come with certain things that has worked successfully for you. Right? You come, they hide you as a leader based on the criteria. When you look, it's a different culture and diving deep into things and setting the results for the long term. And all the people that you work, like, in many companies, you will be the smartest person, in the crowd. Here, you're working with everybody who is smart around you. So you are one of those mosquitoes flying among the brilliant people.
Right.
So that kind of is where you think like, I thought I was the smartest, and you find the smartest, and the culture is very different. So working backwards for customers, delivers, it takes time. I would say that it will take 1 year for you to get into the culture and then understand the culture and then, build the muscles, then deliver great results for the customer. But I do think I value the experience that I had. Also.
Great, great. Let's come to your current stint with Toast. Could you talk a little about what you're building from an engineering standpoint? From a product thinking, what have you been doing for Toast?
Okay. So here, I think in India, we have two offices, Bangalore and Chennai. Mm-hmm. And in Bangalore, we have, from a tech perspective, we have data science, we have SRE teams, we have quality teams, and as well as we take care of the enterprise reporting. So from a restaurant space, we really, in Bangalore, people work on fintech area. They look at the data and they solve the data science issues across our verticals, basically for employees, for operators, for guests and suppliers. And in Chennai, we have team which really looks at supplier and accounting, which I lead that team here, and we really take care of back of office operation.
So from a Toast perspective, because in India, I'm sure Toast was not a brand that was known, right? And you were setting this up from the scratch. What were some of the challenges you faced, Uma, while putting this together?
I think I joined Toast and I was the first employee at Toast. I think I was not familiar in attracting talent to a brand that was not familiar to India. So I think the challenges were, hiring the right talent. And then the Toast culture is wonderful in terms of empathy, respect for people. I think it's a great company. So basically, how do you scale that culture in India and make sure that it's like we have the same culture in India? So attracting the talent, right talent, setting a very high bar of whom we hire, especially the leadership team. And when the brand was known, was very, very extremely challenging. And then setting the charters for each one of the team, making sure that we are operating where the India team is delivering value. Was also important. So I think I should say that when I hired the first set of leaders, it was like as if I did, it was like full of joy and jumping. Hired the HR leader was like jumping with joy. Hiring the first engineer was also very special because somebody is joining the company. And so I'm really proud of what we have created in terms of the team as well as the culture.
Sure. So we were speaking about Toast in terms of, what you do. It's a restaurant tech industry. So how does Toast Tech do things differently? Because we've also gotten people from the food tech here on our show. So we'd like to know a little more from the engineering standpoint. What do you guys do differently?
I think, the Toast is in the restaurant space, and we can really address the entire restaurant community. And when I say community here, I would say I can address the needs of what an operator will need, what a guest will need in the restaurant space, what an employee will need, what a supplier. So you have these network and you have the data. And from a technology perspective, I think we can apply data science, AI, robotics, you can think of it, and voice. So a lot of technology scope is there where with this data, how much of data can you use and make it useful for in the restaurant space? Just like, when e-commerce started long back, it was like not the industry that everybody entered. And there was a time where mobile, not everyone entered. So I would say, in the restaurant space, application of the technology and making it like fully automated and helping that community is something like what was done to e-commerce. I think this is still evolving, and there is a lot of scope in terms of applying advanced technologies there.
Wow, so it's going to be a lot of convenience, if I may put it that way. Great. So, Uma, from a leadership standpoint, right, we were talking about the leadership principles of Amazon and how you were with the other companies, Motorola and Intel. What is it that you've built? And I heard you say I wanted to build culture. So what is it that you've imbibed from some of these companies and built into Toast?
Okay, that's a great question. I think one thing throughout I believed is innovation.
Okay.
Right? Innovation, what helps me come to office. So I definitely wanted innovation to be the focus, and because I'm passionate about it and I get triggered. So I ensured that there was a new venture team in India from a very, very early days. So where people have opportunity for innovation, and Toast also encourages innovation. We have hackathon where anybody can innovate.
Right.
We also have a new venture team in Bangalore where people are coming up with new ideas. I'm extremely proud of what the team in Bangalore are doing, and generally on the innovation. So the innovation is one which I think was a common thread that ran in me throughout my career. So that is one I think I picked up. And in Motorola, I think I found that caring for people was really there. They really cared for people. And Toast has a great culture in terms of empathy, caring for people, making sure people have like the right balance, and there is a lot of importance on diversity and inclusion. So I'm ensuring that piece of what I learned from Motorola is brought in here.
Sure.
And in terms of Amazon, I would say that I think there are great many things, not that you can take everything, but some piece of single-threaded leadership and ownership is something that still work in progress, but something like I would like to see single-threaded ownership here, where there is a clear ownership of what people are going to deliver. Then only I think if as leaders we give clear direction, people will know what they have to deliver. So I strongly believe that that is something that brought from Amazon. A lot more things are there, but these are a couple of things I could top of my mind.
Sure. So wanted to understand from you in terms of, you spoke about diversity and inclusion. That perks my attention to the next question. So have you ever had the imposter syndrome? Have you managed to address it? Because I've not asked anyone so directly, but I'm going to ask you because looks like it'll be easy for us to chat about it. So what are your thoughts around that, Uma?
I think having self-doubt is okay, right? I think, and I feel you have to be your biggest critic.
Right.
And that's fine.
Sure.
But you should not underestimate yourself, and that should not stop you from doing bigger things in life.
Right.
And I want to give my own example so that people are able to relate to it. I think people won't believe, I'm coming from Coimbatore, PhD Tech, and very shy person. All that I knew was just go code. I won't talk to anyone. Nobody will believe right now if I say that. I won't talk to anyone. I'll just go code. And I think I was doing it for 3-4 years in the beginning of my career. Won't talk. I will do my work. Lots and lots of code. And do my work, go. Very shy to talk to anyone. So I think in one of the meetings, I think one of the VPs was there and he asked a question. Like, can someone explain to me what is this?
Right.
And then with all my shyness and inhibitions, I overcame those inhibitions. And I went to the board and I explained the tech piece of it, which I knew very well. And he kind of nodded and acknowledged that. I feel that was the exact time on what opened up as my core strength. Then there was no stopping from me talking and presenting and making presentations. So I think the inhibitions are there when you start, and I think you learn. But I think you will need to overcome the inhibitions to find out if that is your strength, right? For me, that I can present and somebody can acknowledge was opening up of one of my strength of ability to talk and present. And then I just literally want to say that from that day till now, it was like no stopping me.
Sure.
And then every time I presented, it was like, somebody acknowledging me. Then I said, like, okay, this is my core strength. So
Sure.
then most uncomfortable thing, it was very uncomfortable for me to go to the board.
Right.
But after that, I would say that I'm extremely happy I did that.
Right.
Because it just opened up a new possibility for me. So to everyone, I would like to say that don't be constrained. You have to be critical, but don't be constrained. Just push a little bit to see what happens to you.
Sure.
Right? It might open up a new possibility for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So do you think, the reason why I kind of combined the diversity and the imposter syndrome, do you think that women face this a lot more?
Yeah, I think because now I don't have any distinction of anyone I meet. I will have to say, to be honest.
Right.
I feel women have even promotion or anything, unless they are 100% sure, they don't even ask. They don't ask, and then unless they are 100% sure, they don't even want to do. They have it in their I think the allies, men or women or leaders who have accomplished, they will have to make sure that they have a voice, they have a table, they have a voice, and we have to encourage them to open up, just like somebody did to me.
Right.
I think I will need to do to many people.
Right.
And we need to make sure we are very sensitive when we are in a meeting and so that we are able to allow people to open up. And it is definitely there, but it is up to all of us who have already gone through those phases to make others open up.
So India has emerged with so many new things, right? So we had the UPI, which took the world by the storm. Now we have ONDC, which is being talked about. What is your take on ONDC and the entire e-commerce? Do you think it's sustainable?
I think this is fully my perspective on it, and this is a Government of India ambitious project.
Yeah.
And I think it is revolutionary. Imagine you have Meta store for all your shopping needs.
Right.
I think it is similar to what we had as an UPI vision. And from a consumer perspective, I think it's going to give more choice to the consumer, and he is able to discover the best product at the best price. And he can discover this in his local store.
Right.
And get it faster and get it at the best price. So
Correct.
that is like consumer advantage. And when I look at from a retailer perspective, the small retailers and sellers are going to have a level playing field with big corporations. So I love this concept, right? The few things my perspective will need to see is how many people do sign up for ONDC. That
Right.
will be interesting.
Sure.
How do we scale this? And when I talk about scale, I think what we are doing is we are asking merchants to have the risk model to assess whether the person will pay the money or not, right? So the risk is moved to the merchant side.
Correct.
So if the platform can build this risk model inside, then the adoption will be much easier because this is an open platform. I'm assuming that the person who is buying is going to pay money, and if there are risks in getting the money, then there is a problem. So for ONDC adoption, I think the two things that's going to play a key role will be who is going to sign up? Can we have the same scale as UPI? And the second one is there are few features that need to be added for everyone to adopt and be successful. So if these two happens, then it will be very, very interesting to watch. And I wish it happens though. As a consumer going to buy, I think I would love to have this where I have a choice to purchase from my local store at the best price. And I also have comparison of all the prices. So it's revolutionary. I look forward to it, but we need to watch on scaling.
Right. So you've been fairly successful throughout your life. Yeah. And I'm sure it must inspire a lot of women who are watching the show. Not that it won't inspire men, don't get me wrong, but I wanted you to actually give, advice irrespective of gender, then specifically for budding women engineers. If you can talk to both sets of the audience, it would be wonderful.
Okay. I think one is don't allow anyone to make assumptions about you. Right? Don't let anyone make assumptions. The other thing is speak up. I think there is no sponsor better than you. And the thing that I would like to say is take risks.
Sure.
And it's better to fail than not take risks. And for women, have a mentor or a sponsor.
Sure.
Who can advise you and who can speak about you in your absence when key decisions are made.
Wow. Could you elaborate that a bit? What do you mean by that?
I think I'm fairly successful, but it was not like magic, right thing, right. Everything happened at the right time. All that can be said. But I had a lot of mentors and sponsors. I was not like the perfect person, and I was the best, right? But I had a lot of mentors and sponsors who helped me to be where I am today.
Sure.
In my career and personal life also, I have a spiritual inclination part of it also. Especially at Intel, I just want to recall two people like Aisha Evans and Alkana. These two people were like really mentors and sponsors for me.
Sure.
That may not be my strength, but they used to talk, and especially I had a corporate VP who was talking about me during my absence, saying, "Hey, I think there is a talent in this person."
Sure.
That she was able to speak about me in my absence when key decisions were made.
Right.
And I think all leaders, right, be it me or anyone, is the ability to identify those sparks in person and be sponsor for somebody.
Sure.
Because you have, whatever accomplishment, you have achieved something in life, but can you identify the sparks in the budding talent?
Right.
And be the spokesperson for the person when key decisions are made, and not leave that let anybody speak about themselves, right?
Sure.
So always look for those sparks in anybody, whomever you meet.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Uma, I'm sure by now everyone knows your leadership style. So I just want to know if you guys are hiring and if we can leave your handle on social so that they can get in touch with you. But most importantly, what are the few things one needs to keep in mind if they need to join your team?
I think in terms of, I think Toast as a company, I think it's big believer in diversity and inclusion. And the bar, I think since I'm coming from Amazon and these kind of companies, the bar will be like, bar is going to be high.
Right.
But I think we are looking for somebody who's very technically good and very inclusive leadership, who can deliver great results, and also have a lot of empathy while dealing with people. So people also are very important in this company.
Sure. Uma, any last words before we wrap the show?
I think it was, I loved chatting with you.
Thank you.
It was really, I didn't feel like it was like a very prepared one. It was like very spontaneous. I enjoyed the energy that you gave to me.
Right,
I hope I gave the energy back. And
yes, you did.
Loved the discussion.
Sure.
Enjoyed the show.
Thank you so much, Uma. Thanks for being on the show. Lovely chatting.